What's happening, people? Hope everyone's well. Here for episode 6.
Yeah, 6.
Didn't think we would have done 6.
No, I thought people would have told us to stop by now.
Yeah. But if anything, it's been the opposite. When we've had moments of should we carry this on or not, or maybe when we come to the point when we're like, should we swerve it? We seem to have at least one person come up to one of us and say, by the way, you watched it, really liked it.
What was it?
What?
By the way.
By the way.
I didn't realise there was all, by the way,
By the way. Yeah, and then it's just enough to make me go, oh, good. It makes you feel good. We're helping someone at least, and go, oh, just keep going then.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's been nice. I think, like we keep saying, the other 2 weeks is definitely better.
Yeah, and obviously that's set in stone, as we've said before, so it's going to be every 2 weeks. It will always be uploaded on a Sunday evening to this YouTube channel that's fully set up and functioning. So obviously, like, subscribe, comment, all of that stuff.
And obviously you can see it all now.
Yeah, I'm logged in.
Not the Facebook as much, but obviously the Instagram and the YouTube and that. If you lot can go over and like that, then Harry can see your comments rather than you have to go through me or anything.
Yeah, if you're watching this on Instagram, then go over and do the bits on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, then go over and do the bits on Instagram, Facebook. You know what I mean? Like, we want all of it flourishing as much as possible, trying to reach as many people and trying to help as many people as possible. So that's what it's all about.
Yeah, and I was just literally just chatting to Harry about it, but our cousin Jack lost his missus recently, and he started up a clothing brand under her name, just sort of like in memory to raise money for charity and stuff. So I had a little chat with him, and he just said about us just putting it in there if people are interested, and just trying to give him a bit of a kickstart. So I just said, when I do the video, you probably won't see it in the post as much because obviously it sort of won't work in it. But obviously, I said anytime we now post a video, I'll always put the link underneath. So it'd be appreciated if you can check that. And
it's just something for a good cause.
Yeah, have a little like, and if you do like bits, and obviously anything you buy will be going to charity, and all under our name. So
that's it. Right. So as always, we have 0 planned.
Yeah.
You came round about an hour ago.
Yeah.
That's how long it took to set this up.
Yeah, I had about 3 fags.
Yeah.
Drunk my Red Bull. No, it's always Red Bull. You've been inconsistent.
1 episode.
Inconsistency. So
I'm dieting. I sugar-free drink.
God bless you, Red Bull. Hopefully the outreach will get them soon.
That's the sponsor.
Even if you don't care about our podcast or mental health or anything like that, if you want to get as dark as you just do not give a shit, just do me a favour.
Yeah,
and just get me a sponsor.
I'm fine with it being Red Bull. I'm not going to moan over a Red Bull sponsor.
Get us a sponsor. Get me a sponsor.
Imagine if they got hold of me through the email and I turned it down. Red Bull's like, we really like what you're doing. We've seen the video, and I'm just like, nah, not a chance. If you got Monster's email though, then
I'd be in the news for Man Kills Brother.
Just be you on a podcast covered in claret.
Yeah. Or like 20 years down the line doing James English.
Yeah.
Life
once
in
had a
prison.
thriving podcast until he turned down a Red Bull.
So I stabbed him in the neck.
Yeah. But we've got nothing specific to talk about, as we've said before.
We said about being a bit more light-hearted this week, because I think we've been struggling the past year. Not that we're not struggling, but
no, but I mean, I can only speak for myself, but I feel a little bit better, a bit more positive, because I've done bits and taken action on how I was feeling.
I've had a busy couple of weeks at work, which has been nice as well. I've been consistent for the first time in a long time. So I even worked place typical work in a bank holiday Monday after all them days off. But sort of come round and say, I'll take whatever you've got, really. So we just spoke about being a bit more light-hearted, just because it's nice to change it up.
One thing I wanted to talk about this week, and I'm throwing this on you as a surprise,
right?
Because it's not something I planned. It's just something that I wanted to speak about. We've spoken a lot about my drinking, but we haven't really spoken about your drinking.
Why?
Well, I'm interested to know, or for the viewers to know, a story of like, I've got hundreds of stories of me coming unstuck.
I don't really have any though.
What's the one that comes to mind? I've put you on the spot now.
I mean, the only one I've got is from when I was like 16. But it's like, it's not really that exciting. Like because there's not a story to it. It's quite quick.
Yeah, that's fine.
Me and Dan was drinking at his. We got like a bottle of Jaeger each because we thought like that'll be enough.
Other alcohol is available.
Yeah. But Jaeger with Red Bull, maybe get that sponsor. So, cheers.
Nobody puts it. It is famously with Monster in it, a Jaeger bomb.
No,
is it not?
No, I've had Red Bull.
What, in a pub?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, pubs that are higher quality that have red. Yeah, no, we was drinking Jaeger, and rather than doing like Jaeger bombs, we just bought like a bottle of drink, like energy drink or something, and then was doing shots and then just sipping at that. So you've got a drink because if you're
Ridiculous, but
smoking
yeah.
and stuff,
No, I
like,
get that.
we were 16 in all fairness to
Yeah.
us, like, but Dan was being a bit more careful with his, and I was just sort of getting carried away because naturally I want to sit there and drink a drink. So I kept thinking, well, let me have another one, not thinking shots. So I think I'd done about half a bottle of like a 70cl in about half an hour, which is ridiculous as well. I just didn't realise. I was just doing shot, and then we started walking to our mate McCauley's, and I think like the roller coaster of walking there was from like normal to like feeling a bit warm to tipsy to then get into his dorm and being
Sweaty
drunk
top lip.
within a space of like a 20-minute walk. I was like, I'm in trouble here. And then carried on drinking, and then just sort of hit a point that I like, because I never black out. I've never had a blackout night. I can never drink enough. So I've done this whole bottle by this point.
Yeah.
It's not massively strong. I don't know what Jaeger is, 30,
It's
40%, something like that. But I've done this whole 70cl, and by that point, I'm just like drunk. But my brain never shuts off, which I find weird. It doesn't matter how drunk I get, it never shuts off. I remember everything. So I remember sitting there and thinking, right, I've got to go to the toilet. I was like, my belly was going. I was like, I've got shit. So I went into his downstairs toilet, and it's got a little window above it. I remember, and I fell asleep on the toilet, like shitting.
Pants down.
Yeah. Don't remember it, like as in like I don't remember it, but I don't remember. I don't remember falling asleep. I was sort of just tired, and I've gone. And then next thing I remember hearing Tom jumping.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck is that? And I woke up and I could see his head just coming up to the window each time. So I was like, fuck, right, okay. And then I stood up and I went, rah, like that, and just threw up in the sink. And I had pasta and chicken for dinner. And it was one of them plug holes. It weren't a normal plug hole, so it trapped it all.
Trying to finger it down.
So I was like, but I'm like too drunk by this point. So Dan, bless him, has had to come in and put his hand in my sick and poke it down the plug hole to let it all go, rinse it down. And they was like, right, we're going to go for a walk. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. So I sort of like stumbled out the door, got round the corner, you know where they live, and I got to the church at the end of the road, and they was like fucking about jumping on the wall and stuff. And I sat down on the steps, and I was like, "This me done." Yeah. I was like, like I say, my head's still there, but my legs just wasn't working. I looked at the time; it's like 2:00 in the morning, and I'm like, I can't walk home. I was like, I don't know what to do, and I'm like, this is how I'm ringing Dad. 2:00 in the morning, I'm like, I'm actually ringing Dad, so I can't walk home. And I remember ringing him, and he answered. He was like, "What?" And I was like, I'm really sorry. I've jumped to him, like legs ain't working, blah, blah, and he was like, right, where are you? Yeah. And I said, I'm here, and he was like, all right, been in 5 minutes. And I'm like, and I'm just sitting there feeling like absolute shit. And it was a silent car journey home. Picked me up, got in the car.
No radio or nothing.
Nothing, just silent, walked in. I said, thank you for that. He went, yep. Just went upstairs back to bed. So,
thing is with drinking that young is, I mean, especially for me as an alcoholic, I was already trying to drink like an alcoholic then.
Yeah, that's no 16-year-old should be seeing off a bottle of Jaeger. Like, no. But there's something about the culture in this country that we think that's normal.
Yeah, there is no limit. You just keep going. I remember it was round here. We had a few people come around. We were drinking Sidekick, which is like apple sours, wasn't it? So we're playing FIFA. There's about 4 or 5 of us. So the idea was
how old was you at this point? Because that really ain't that
16
strong.
16 or 17.
Yeah,
it weren't the only thing I was drinking.
No, I
was drinking beer and that as well. But I just remember we had these bottles, and every time you scored a goal on FIFA, you did a shot. I was the best at FIFA at that time, which was a good thing. So I'm scoring a goal, bang, another shot, buzzing. I had finished the bottle in about 7 or 8 minutes when other people hadn't even cracked theirs open yet. So I'm thinking I'm the real winner of the night. We then went out, ended up at a park down the road, and we're having a few drinks, and I'd thrown a few more in. And obviously where it's apple sours, where it's just curdling in my belly. I remember being sat on a swing, and I weren't feeling too good, getting a bit spinny, and I'm a bit like, when I'm still an inexperienced drinker at the time. And all I remember was Lee turned around and went, "You all right?" And I turned around ready to smile at him as if I'm fine. I went like that, threw up all down myself. I remember it went onto the floor. I then leant forward and fell into the sick with a splash as well. There was enough of it, just green. And I remember laying in it.
Acid as well, that stuff.
That's why it just sits on your chest and comes back again. And they're like laughing, but they're like, "You're all right?" And I'm like, "I'm fine." I'm like, "Just leave me here." So they left me there for about 2 hours while everyone carried on their night, and I stayed there on the floor. And from what they've told me, I was still the funniest person at the party because I was on the floor still hearing conversations and making comments and making jokes, and stayed down there for the whole night until I sobered up a little bit and got up and felt right as rain and walked home again. But you think as a 16, 17-year-old, like, oh, I can't do that again. The next night, I'm like, should we get more of that sidekick? I was like, that was mental stuff.
That was
like,
the best night.
Yeah, I'll remember it fondly. I don't even look at it and go, oh, embarrassing.
Yeah, so it's funny. I don't really have like I've got drinking stories in the sense of like stupid shit we've done, but not like being drunk. Like,
Yeah.
But like we said before, I don't think I've ever really been one for getting that. Like as in like I say, that night is the most drunk I've ever been, and I still remember everything. It's not like that. That's why I said it always baffles me, the idea of being blackout drunk.
Yeah.
I've never had that, and I've never had a hangover. Because I was chatting to Ben the other day, and he was like, "No, I've seen you have a hangover," and I was like, "No, I've been tired.
Yeah.
I might have a bit of a headache because I've had a late night." I said, "But I'm not waking up like sick. I'm not like, oh, no. this is because of the drink."
I never really had hangovers, but then I drunk through it.
Yeah.
I'd wake up the next morning after 2-3 hours sleep and I'd be like fuzzy headed, trying to remember what I've done, looking at my phone, which is never good.
No.
Seeing texts and phone calls and
to mum saying like, "I beat you up."
Not quite, mate.
No?
Not really. I mean, once.
One.
There's one time. No. And I'd sort of wake up in a haze of sort of panic. But then because I'm now stressed out about, I've got too drunk again, and I might have done stuff that I shouldn't have done, my way of sort of relieving that stress was to drink.
Yeah.
I need a drink, and then it's just that continuous cycle. So that's why I didn't sober up for 13 years.
Yeah.
At the end of it, I had a 13-year hangover. But yeah, I never really suffered the next day because I'd carry on.
I think people have always been quite confused when they've like, even if they've stayed around here after drinking. I mean, you're always up pretty early and doing things and stuff, and that always confuses people. Because I'll wake straight up and I'll put music on. I'm like, especially if we're drunk on a Friday night and then it's like a Saturday morning, the sun's out or something.
Well, Jake, who should be watching this, shout out to Jake.
Yeah.
He has had many occasions, and he tells stories a lot about me and him having heavy nights out and him crashing here for the night and waking up an absolute write-off. And I'm already back up and drinking and smiling.
Yeah.
That he's woken up like, oh, mate. And then I'm sort of stood there with a whiskey in my hand, right, boy! And again, sort of, and I've dragged him down the pub around me times. Get a bit of food in you, get a pint, you'll be all right, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And again, I think that's that misery loves company. It's like I'm trying to front it, like I'm living the high life and rock star, when realistically I was depressed off my mind, hence why I was drinking every day. And I'm trying to drag people in with it. They're like, no, come with me, I'll pay for your drinks, I'll do this, because then I'm not drinking them.
I think I was one of the very few that wouldn't fall for that.
Who, you?
Without realising it was the drinking problem. Yeah. Like, as in, you'd often try and get me to come out, and even if I did come out, I wouldn't stay out.
No.
Whereas other people would just crumble and they'd be like, oh, okay.
Well, I'd manipulate people I'd use money.
Sex.
With sex. I'd manipulate them.
Sex and money.
I'd be like, stay out, I'll give you a blowy.
Yeah. And a fiver.
Yeah, I'll give you a blowy and a fiver. And they'll go, I'll take the fiver.
Yeah.
And I go, it's all or nothing. That's the deal. But yeah, the amount of people I'd sort of like, I've literally bought them a pack of fags. Come down the shop and I buy them a pack of 20. I'm putting it in their hand. Like, there you go, look, there's a pack of 20 fags. How desperate do I seem? Come back, I'm going to get, what drinks do you like? Yeah, I'll get you all of them. And I'll spend like 100 quid to keep them out for the day. And then even then they're going, I'm going to shoot after this one. I'm going, well, no, what do you want? I'll get you whatever you want. Pull scratching. Get the man some pull scratchings. Like, I need you to stay out with me. Because otherwise I'm an alcoholic drinking in the pub alone.
Yeah.
When I've got someone
like
there, it's just two
everyone
lads.
else.
Yeah,
All
pretty
the
much.
others.
Yeah.
On a Sunday.
I love the Sunday.
Yeah, that's what I say. Sunday.
That's what I mean. Sunday night you go down there and it's younger generation, people out, party lifestyle, but you go, I know I sound old. You go down on a Sunday and it is individuals.
Yeah.
The Sunday drinkers are the real drinkers, and I'm sure there's a lot of people on here, like all jokes aside, and I know we talk about serious stuff on here, but I've said it before, people are allowed to drink.
Yeah.
Alcohol is amazing when it's used correctly. I still am fine with people drinking and talking about drinking. So I know a lot of people agree with what I'm saying. Sunday drinkers are the proper drinkers. That's when you used to go down and you get involved. So I remember walking in there at like midday, 6 people in there, none of them know each other, all just sat individually, and I just sort of walk in. I've had a heavy few days, order a drink, sit up at the bar, sip in, 2 or 3 in, get chatting to that bloke at the bar. And then, again, a lot of people I'm sure relate, the Sunday drinkers. Next thing you know, these people are my family.
Yeah.
I only met them that afternoon, or I might have seen them 2-3 weeks in a row or whatever. But you get chatting about the football on the telly or races on that day or whatever it is. Before you know it, you're having the best time ever. And then you put a music on, and me and these 6-7-year-old men that have all grafted and have got the great stories, like greatest stories I've ever heard. And I want to be around them all the time.
Got just orange in their grey beard there from smoking roll-ups.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to be
finger,
like.
it's like that. Yeah.
I get that.
I know you
terrible,
do.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Smoke too much.
But no, I did used to enjoy it, and that's why I do have good memories of drinking. But again, even using that as an example, them Sundays, I'd end up having a fantastic afternoon. But then even they would go. Some of them still work, some are retired, some have had a wife to get home to, whatever the situation. They'd sort of finish up and go 7, 8 o'clock, then the next lot at 9 o'clock, and I'm still there and still there. And then they're shutting, and next thing you know, I look round, I'm the only one sat up at the bar. And even then, it's not like, okay, well, the bar's shut, I better go home and go to bed. I'm thinking, what drink have I got indoors? Oh, yeah, that's cool. Still got a bottle indoors. Say goodbye, come back here, open another bottle, drink through till 3 in the morning. Then my alarm's going off at 5 in the morning, and I'm going, oh, I've done it again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just all the time.
Yeah, I couldn't think of anything worse.
Mm.
Just drinking. Like, even on a Sunday when I would come out, I might come out for a bit of the football. Because obviously there was that time that I left with Dad to get a kebab, and you and James were winding me up.
Yeah.
Oh,
mayo friends.
Yeah, well, yeah, garlic mayo kebab. Yeah, but that's what I mean. But then at the time, I had nothing to say. So I'd swallow it and be like, "Yeah, they've had my pants down. I'm going."
It's one of them.
But
jokes.
When I look back at it now, I'm like, I'm proud that I do that.
Yeah, 100%.
Because I'm like, you lot are fucking drinking, getting carried away with spending money, and I'm like, well, I spent an extra £7. I had my kebab, gone home, chilled, gone to bed.
And once again, me and I mean, I can't speak for him, but me making those jokes is out of insecurity. Because there was a big part of me, even though I didn't quite know it at the time, I would love to have got a kebab and go home.
Yeah, yeah.
But I can't. I'm trying to fill a void within myself and battle the disease of alcoholism, and I've got to stay out. So the idea that you have the strength to go, no, I'm getting a kebab with Dad, and I'm going to go home, I'm jealous to a certain extent.
Me and Dad just come back in our pants.
Yeah, both of you
had
sat
a cuddle,
there. Yeah.
Ate our kebabs around each other's arms.
And I missed all of it. By the time I come in, you were just sat there
wiping
shaking.
garlic mayo off.
Yeah, garlic mayo. Yeah, having a fag. What happened in here? And we had the best night ever, man.
Lazy Sunday.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I just couldn't do Sunday drinking. Like, even on a bank holiday, I'll do it.
Yeah.
But it still just doesn't feel right for me. But I don't know if that's just working in retail and stuff, being like 17, 18, because you've always worked Sundays.
And so did I. I think...
Yeah, but you're an alcoholic.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it does come to that. I think that...
But I mean, as in most people will jump at, like, they love a bank holiday weekend, drinking on a Sunday. But then that's what I mean. But then that feels more normal. If I know that I'm not drinking for the week, but then bank holiday rolls around, I have a heavy weekend where it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then Monday's like your time to chill.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that. But the idea of just having like a normal weekend, but then being able to drink on a Sunday, going down the pub, and it's busy, but it's like quiet. It's not like rowdy because it is still in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
I just don't get on with that as well. I don't know.
I think because that's what used to annoy when a bank holiday rolled round. People would come out 4 days and they're like 4 day weekend and all that. Every week was 4 day.
Yeah.
Always, every time I used to get my hair cut on a Thursday every week, get my hair cut, and then it was karaoke on a Thursday night. So I'd get my hair cut and go down there with Dan, my barber.
I stopped coming to that as well.
Yeah, so Thursday night was the first night heavy, work Friday, obviously out Friday night, Saturday night, all day Sunday. So when these bank holidays roll round, I think I speak for a lot of the big drinkers, we're fuming with these people that have turned up for a 4 dayer. Because it's bank holiday. Where were you last week? You can't decide now that it's Easter.
We're singing Mustang Sally every Thursday on the karaoke.
You know, where would you? We've been here for every week, and now all of a sudden you just rolled in. You go, 4 dayer. And you're like, no, mate, you don't belong here. Part timers. I can't. You couldn't have that.
But you're jealous.
Yeah, of course.
In reality.
At the time, yeah. I mean, I couldn't admit it at the time, and I didn't even know that that's what it was at the time. But there was so much hostility and bitterness inside of me, even though I didn't know it. I was fronting it so well that I was believing the things that I was saying and feeling, and I convinced myself that it was true. But yeah, obviously a big part of it was confusion and jealousy and bitterness, and I hated the fact that other people seemed happier than me, and like you leaving the pub and genuinely not being like embarrassed, just being like laughing it off. I'm all right, I'm going home, and I'm trying to berate you with insults to try and convince you to stay, thinking that you're fold. Oh, I'll stay for one more, and you're going, no, I'm good. Yeah, and I was like, oh, right, okay. Why can he go home? Why can't I? Why am I staying here till it shuts?
Yeah, it's funny our influence on people, where it's like when it comes to drinking, I'm the first one to be like, if you've had enough, you've had enough.
Yeah.
Or if you want to go home, then, or I tell you, I don't want people to go home. I tend to say to people, just stop drinking, like stay out, calm down a bit.
Yeah.
Go and get something to eat. Whereas for you, it would be like, have another one. What you're not man, not real man.
Can we point out now though that this is the old me?
Yeah.
And I'm a very, very different person to who I was back then. I can laugh about it because it's part of the healing process. I'm very embarrassed about the person I used to be, the way I treated others, the way I treated my own body, and you know what I mean. That I'm not like and that anymore.
Others' bodies.
And others' bodies. That's ridiculous to say on there. But yeah, so I am not that person anymore. But it doesn't mean that we can't tell the stories.
Can you do a bad wink? You know, when someone, because you always used to pick yourself up that you had a good
No, it
wink.
was other people that picked it up, wasn't me.
Okay.
They said
Like
I had
you
a good
didn't
wink.
bring it up.
No, they said it.
But what's your
I
bad
just
wink?
agreed.
What's your bad wink?
I don't have one.
Like if you was to do like a stupid one.
Over the top.
Yeah. No.
Like that,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. You got to do it to the camera though, so they can see it. Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
but when the
I
shin
went
comes
for
out
a.
as well. Yeah.
Then when someone can't, they blinked, didn't they? Rather
Yeah.
than.
The thing is though, that was half the issue, is because I'd get one compliment. I could get 10 slaps in the face on a Saturday night, but one of them when you're quite good looking, and my ego went straight up. You know what I mean? Like, all I listened to was that one. With that bird telling me how good looking I was. You like what? You're the one that just punched you in the mouth? No, not her. The one after said I was quite good looking. I'm like, like, I just needed my ego to be fed at all times.
Do you not think, as men though, that's quite a big thing?
I think in
'Cause,
general, men with testosterone.
It's very rare I get compliments.
Obviously.
And when exactly, because I'm disgusting.
Yeah.
But when I do,
Mhm.
it's like weird. I don't know how to deal with it. I want to punch them.
I can't handle it now.
Yeah, when someone goes like, "Oh, you're looking really good today,"
Yeah, just panic.
just hit them. Don't say that.
I had a few customers have told me lately that I'm looking well because I've put weight on. That obviously I was a bit too skinny, and even though I'm feeling a bit too big again now, a customer literally come out with, "Wow, you look really well." I went, "Oh, I appreciate it." She went, "No, you've like put a bit of weight on." She went, "Like in a good way, like around your face and that." And I was like, "Yeah." I said, "I think I got too skinny, but my skin's crawling."
Yeah.
Because of her complimenting me. She meant it, and she's such a lovely woman. She's like, "No, you're looking really well." And I'm like you, it's clenching down there, and I think you need to stop saying these things.
Yeah, it's weird. I can't really say there's been many times I've had compliments. Like the most compliments I get is like my mates will say stuff, but I couldn't say.
You're singing.
Yeah, even that though. I don't think I get that many.
You do.
No.
Yeah.
No, I
No,
don't.
you do.
No, I don't. I
Yeah.
don't. No, the reason you think I do is because you have like that complex in your head where it's like you'll bring it up and then be like, "But I'm not as good as George."
I'm not.
Yeah, but you used to do it as if you was looking for a compliment.
Probably, but then that was the
Yeah,
old
that's
me.
the old you. But But what I'm saying is you used to do that, and then people would compliment me, and then you'd be like, "Yeah, you always get compliments," and I'm like, "Yeah, but I didn't bring that."
You sat there going, "You forced that."
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm like, I never. They wouldn't have gone off there. I'm back to go like, "Your singing's really good."
Well, you're telling me we haven't had people stop us in town and go,
I've never had people stop me.
Yes, you have.
Stop me.
Yeah.
You think we're walking through and they're going to go,
Well,
George?
not stopped you, but I mean in the pub people have spotted you and gone, "Oh my god, you do them."
Where are they from?
I don't know. Czech Republic. But we've had people do that before.
Not that I can remember.
And again, going back to when I was drinking, you don't notice it because you're trying to bat them off. You're probably a bit like, just moving on, whereas I'm standing there and going, yeah, no, we're put the odd video out, all right? I mean, I'm basking in it for the whole entire night.
Hi, I'm his brother.
Yeah.
I sing.
Just fucking barging you out of the way. Yeah, I do a bit. I was telling someone this not long ago, that if I went up there and sung, I'd get called up for karaoke, and I'm buzzing, I'm up there.
Will whiskey.
Entertainer, that's how I thought I was at the time, and I'm talking to the crowd and all that. I'll tell you this now.
Tear the roof off the place, right?
Well, that was the story, yeah. So there was one time when you were there, and I turned around and I went on the mic as well. Do yourself a favour, you might want to put your coats on, and I'm about to take this fucking roof. And all I saw was you sat there. You went to take a sip with your drink, and as I said, roof on, you went, oh. Like as if to say, like it disgusting. I can't even drink that.
It was so cringy.
And then it was silence. Like I said it, waiting for a laugh. I'm obviously joking.
Yeah, but
thinking it will get a laugh. People know that I'm being ironic. Silence, just like that. And I was like, all right. And then the music just started. I'm like, oh. But I remember getting up there and I'd sing, and I can sing a bit. A lot of people have heard me sing. I'm an okay karaoke singer, and I'd go for it. I think
I'd say you're a good karaoke singer. You're like an okay singer.
An average singer, yeah. I'm good on karaoke because I would go for it and I'd try it, which is sort of the point, and it's fun.
Yo.
So I go bang, and then normally I do an Elvis song with a big end note, and end the song. Big round of applause. And then I'll come walking back down, yeah, no thanks, I'm drinking my hand shaking, that's what I do, and up next to the mic we have George Nicol, and I'm like, no! Because you're now having to follow me. So I got the limelight for 30 seconds before you've gone up there and absolutely blown me out of the water. Or what was worse was the other way, which you would sing first, kill it, and then they'd call me up next, and I'm like, no, let 2 or 3 other people go. I'm not following that.
Yeah.
That used to drive me mad.
Yeah, but then it's funny because when we used to go down up bar 72, they'd literally get to the point they'd want one of us to do the last song.
Yeah, me.
That's only because you wanted it.
Yeah,
You go
American
like,
Trilogy.
how many you got? 10. Yeah, put me 11th. I'll go last.
Well, I mean, I've forced my name up there a couple of times when they're like, no, whoever was doing it's doing the last song. No, this is the last one.
Like
I'm
a
like,
spoiled kid. You go, Gary.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Gary, come on, mate.
But he was so.
And he'll go like, yeah, go on, one more though. He'll go, thank you, thank you, Gary.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What's this voice?
So you drunk.
Gary. No,
thank you, Gary. Cheers, mate.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's fairly accurate.
Yeah, no, that's it. We're gonna call it. Oh, Gary. Come on, mate. One more, Gary.
The worst thing about this is I'm getting even more self-conscious about my laugh lately.
Yeah.
And then people are going to think there's something wrong with the mic.
There's a lot of feedback, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. People think we've got a window open or something.
But yeah, I do miss like going out more.
I do. I mean, I'm never going to stop missing that. There's an upside and a downside, and obviously the downside is enormously bigger than the upside for me personally. Hence why I stopped. I love being sober. I love recovery. I love the new me, my life that I nearly lost. I'm so grateful.
Because I had to tell you, didn't I? I'll kill you. That's what I said. That's why you nearly lost it.
Yeah, I nearly lost my life because Jules said I'll kill you if you don't stop.
Yeah. So you're welcome, really.
Yeah.
Because it's basically because of me.
But that doesn't mean I don't have good memories. And it is one of those. I think people. I've lost count how many times people have gone to bring up a drinking story, and then looked at me in the most patronising way, and they're doing it out of kindness.
Yeah.
But they go, "Oh man, I was drinking last week," and I'm like, "It's fine. Carry on the story. Are you sure?" And I'm like, "I can handle it. I talk about it. It's not a problem."
What you should start doing though is kicking off.
That's what I want to do. Is just get upset.
Yeah.
I was drinking last week. I go, "Oh."
Well, no, but when they go like, "Are you sure?" and you go, "Yeah, I can handle it," and then when they get half through, just go,
"Yeah."
Just start.
I can handle it, but I couldn't.
I'm not ready.
Yeah, please stop.
No, as I say, it's a frustrating one because there was, I'd say, like a 2-3 year period of you being one of the best people to drink to. Drink to.
Hooray!
And then you'd come down, we'd be like, fucking hell.
Yeah.
Drink with, sorry. But then there was just that decline at the end where it's sort of like, okay, now it's gone too far.
It's almost as if I'm trying to use like a good metaphor for it, or it was almost like I was drinking and it was working its way into my veins, and eventually it took over my whole body.
I think it was like you almost accepted that I'm an alcoholic. Not to the point you're going to stop. I think there must have been a point within the last few years before it where part of you must have been like, yeah, maybe.
If I'm being 100% on it, and obviously this is in hindsight, so yeah, it is different at the time. From 19 years old, I knew I was an alcoholic. I was drinking at work, I was drinking before work, and I was doing stuff that was very, very alcoholic. I've literally only recently been retelling some stories to people, and realising only when I say them out loud now, like, oh yeah, that is insane.
Yeah.
At 19.
Or like me getting to smell your energy drink bottles and things.
And that's bottom of the list as well. But yeah, even that, me coming into you, who would have been, 16 at the time, going, smell this, the smell of alcohol.
Yeah.
And you being like, a little bit, now I've got to change it and make sure, what about now? And you go, nah. And I'm like, cool, I can take that to work with me.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I get a lunch break, I'm sweating. Right, lunch break, and I'm like, I'm straight in a shot, bottle of whiskey, down it, come back in, all bold as brass to get through the afternoon. So I knew I was an alcoholic. And then I was sort of in denial with myself. This is what's weird. So in my own head, I would sort of refuse to believe it. But in public, I would talk about it very openly, almost as a way of taking people's weapons away. I think I said before I had my lighter, and it said fat alcoholic with a receding hairline on it.
Yeah.
Accurate. So obviously it's me just owning it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What does it say on your lighter? I'm like that.
That's who you are.
Yeah, because that way when people go, you might be an alcoholic, and I'm like, it says it on my lighter, mate. I know what I am, and I'm enjoying myself. I used to always say I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
Yeah. It just become like an arrogance, like we said before.
Definitely.
But yeah, it's funny just because obviously I remember being like 15, 16, like you say, them stories when you was drinking with your mates here and stuff. We were close enough in age that there were some nights I would come out with you.
Yeah.
Or obviously we had.
You wouldn't necessarily drink, but.
Yeah. Or like there was obviously when I did hit like 16, 17, you'd be hanging around with your mates who I was mates with the younger brothers and things like that. So we'd drink together. So I think we always have.
Yeah.
Right from the age we could drink together, we have drunk
much
together basically. And then I'd say up till like the last few years of you drinking, it was always good fun, and then that's when it sort of took the turn. But there's a lot of like stuff because we always tell people the stories now of like either ones you've just got or like ones where I'm like, oh, I'm ignoring you and you're doing this and you're the or like. But obviously there's a lot of stories we've got where we did have fun.
Yeah.
And for some reason we just don't ever really tell anyone.
We've had great times out drinking, but unfortunately the bad started to outweigh it.
Yeah, they're
And
the
then
ones that's fresher on the mind, isn't it? So,
definitely. And especially because they are the more recent ones. Towards the end, I don't think me and you specifically did probably have many great nights. I had okay nights.
yeah.
I was deluded enough. Like, me and George had such a laugh last night. Mum's like, I don't think he's talking to you at the moment. And I'm like, what? He had a brilliant time like that. He's like, no, he come home early and he weren't happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was so deluded, I didn't know what was going on. I'd come in the next morning to you and be like, oh, what night? And you're like, are you serious?
Yeah.
I'm like, what have I forgotten? And even then I had an arrogance, not going, oh, what have I done? I'm going, what? What have I forgotten then? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Act like I'm the dick.
Yeah. And then when you're telling me it, and I'm like, ain't that bad.
Yeah.
And then I've almost got the ump at you because you're sort of having a go at me for this. And I'm like, oh, whatever. I was having a laugh. And then I'm storming off then. Like, oh, I don't care. I don't think I've done anything wrong. And it's only now it took me to have to go away and find recovery, find a higher power. That's the truth of it.
Yeah, because the best Harry drinking was before, not that you've not always done it, but was like before the coming back, like after drinking too much. The nights when we would finish a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
And we'd come back, and even though you'd come up here and drink, but you'd be in a good mood up to that point of us walking through here, having a giggle, and I'd go to bed without knowing. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, that's the perfect example because it was only like 11:30. We had a good drink.
It's Christmas Eve.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
We stole Dad's turkey.
Oh Christ, yeah.
A bit.
We
made a turkey sandwich.
We made it out like we had half the turkey.
Yeah.
None
left. It's meant to feed a family of 5. We've only did 2 in here. We've got 1 drumstick. Like, we had a sandwich. Christmas is ruined.
Mad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the hula hoops is one of the funniest things. Yeah. I think that's the most I've ever laughed.
You were down in hula hoops out the bag without really chewing them.
Yeah.
Just opening like that, just pouring full hula hoops.
Small bag of hula hoops. I just opened them. It was like...
me videoing, who downs hula hoops?
Yeah, that was good.
No, we did that. That's what I mean. There's plenty of good time. I think the majority of people you speak to will come out with good memories of drinking with me. I did have a laugh. It was just I had a switch.
Yeah.
There's times when I could go the other way, and that all depended on my mental health at the time. I'm trying to cover it up with drinks, so then sometimes the drink would be my friend, and sometimes it was my enemy, and I couldn't really decide. Sometimes alcohol was my only friend, the only person I could trust and I could rely on. And so when he turned his back on me, that hurt. And it would make me go a different way. It would make me angry, make me upset and emotional and things like that. And obviously, my main drink was coming back here and drinking by myself. So even most people have great memories of it because they're like, oh, Harry's on form.
Yeah, because that's what, if you was to ask a lot of people from like more back in the day, but like, I think a lot of people probably would have said that I seem like the dick when you was out sometimes because I'd be a bit like cold and.
Yeah, and I think because, I mean, it seems insane. This is sort of part of the amends that I made to you because for a little while, it was almost like you were the older brother. You were borderline after to keep one eye on me and make sure that I'm not doing anything. So you might be telling me off and going, Harry, because I'm being a cock. And again, people are laughing at what I'm doing. So in their head, they're going, George, leave him. He's having a laugh, sort of thing. You're like, I know my brother, and that's a hurt man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You might be laughing at what he's doing, but I know that he's struggling right now and he needs to go home. And people didn't see it, so they're thinking you're being like a sport. And again, it's only now looking back, and you're like, no, George, you had my best interest at heart. And there's not many, and no disrespect to the people watching this, there's not a huge amount of people that did on nights out.
No, purely just out of some innocence, and some just weren't in the best place.
I don't want it to sound like an attack, because there's going to be people watching this that we had nights out. It's going to be like, well, me.
Yeah, because I said that before about people would crowd you when you started having like the heart pains and stuff, and then it would seem like I'm in a dick because I'd be like, there's nothing you can do.
No.
And I'm like, that wasn't me being cold. That's me just being like, we've tried taking him home before, and you kick like.
That's like getting in the way of a rhino.
Yeah, that's. I mean, you kick off, and then you're fucking throwing things. I'm fine, blah blah, and it's sort of like.
I'd snap someone's neck if they got.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I said to them. They're like, well, he needs to. We should try that, and I'm like, no, I'm going. Like, just leave him. He'd be sitting on a wall somewhere, and I'm like, it sounds really horrible to leave your brother. I'm like, there's nothing I can do.
Yeah, I've lost count.
You lot crowding him are pissing him off more now.
Yeah. And the other thing as well is I'd flip-flop on my own. I didn't need other people intervening. There's plenty of stories, again, about me being like having the best time ever, and then I've switched. But then sometimes I've switched back. People have seen me, I'm having a great night, then I've lost the plot, I'm ready to smash the pub up, I've got the ump people need to fuck off and leave me alone, and then I've gone and sat down on a wall somewhere, like you say, and everyone's a bit like, is he alright? And then people come out, you alright, Harry? And next thing I know, I'm singing. They're like, I swear he was just having a heart attack.
You're like down like that on the wall.
Yeah. And then
nobody knows.
Yeah, there was a story of me coming back from. We got a cab back. Me, Matt, and Jake. They'll remember it got a cab back, and basically I was texting the whole way back,
Mm.
and I'd had a lot to drink that night. I was about 17 or 18. I'd really had a skinful, and I was messaging on my phone. I think it's because I was looking at my phone while the cab drove, and before I looked up and we were outside. And I didn't even remember I've looked at my phone the whole time. So I got out dizzy and sick, and I was sending this text, and I felt this bubble of sick come up, and I'm like, oh no. And all I done was move my phone out of the way, leant over my belly at the time, went on the floor. Matt and Jake are looking like that, and I sort of turned around and I went, "Are you two all right?" And they went, "Yeah," and I went, "All right then." Like that. I said the same what, and I remember that being, even though we laugh about it now, that them two are a bit like, "Is that normal?"
Yeah, it's not, is it?
You know, that most people to throw up, and I'm borderline nicking a Crystalia a bit, but you know what I mean, as far as it ruining their night. Whereas for me, I'd sort of done it and was like, "Oh, I'll carry on."
I was pretty good with that though. Not that I'd ever really been sick, but more at the end of the night.
Oh, do you remember that?
Yeah, when we was at the end of the night. This episode's going on longer. This is going to be a long one, but we'll just leave it because it's rolling.
Well, tell that story. I'll let you tell it.
Well, yeah, there's not really too much to it, but it was funny. I tend to
I'll tell it.
Back in the pub.
Yeah.
No, I used to find that I'd drink a lot, not get that drunk, but then if I'd mixed it too much, or like obviously because I tend to drink like a spirit and coke.
Yeah.
When you're drinking fucking pints and pints of coke, basically, you just end up getting to a point where I'd have a kebab and I'm like, I've got to get something out of here. And my body wouldn't. It's not like I was drunk and had to throw up. I would have
called
to.
it a tactical hurl.
Yeah. Sort of people call it like a tactical chunder.
Yeah.
But rather than it being like I wouldn't feel sick, but I'd just feel so fucking bloated, and I'd like get to bed and I'd feel gassy, but my body wouldn't throw up. It's not like I was drunk to the point that I'm throwing up everywhere. So I would have to do that, get a bit out. Sometimes it was food as well. It would be my kebab would come straight up. It wouldn't even be the drink. I'd just eat too quick, and then I'd go, I've got to get that back out. So we got to the end of the road, walking back down to Mum's, and I said, I was like, I might have to throw up, and you're laughing. Oh, what do you mean? I don't get that. Like that doesn't work. He was like, that makes no sense. And I was like, I don't know. And he was like, because you were saying to me, he was like, you don't even look that bad. And I was like, I'm not. I said, but I've got to get this out. And he was like, all right, well, we'll have a race then.
Again, drunk.
He was like, we'll have a race so you can throw up first.
Yeah.
And I was sort of like, right, okay. And you're like, yeah, go on, then let's do it. It's like, and you're like,
I've never done it before.
No, and I'm trying so hard, nothing comes. You end up throwing up.
Well, I'd given up as well. That was the thing. I went like that, trying to do it, and I'm gagging a bit on it. And I went, see, it doesn't make sense to me. I've never done it. And it all come out. And I'm going, fucking hell, Joel, I'm getting sick like that. We were both curled up laughing at 2 a.m. See lights coming on around like that. But yeah, no, that was bad.
Yeah, that was so funny though.
Have we run over it then? Shall we?
I don't know. I was looking at the time. I think it might have gone.
We'll leave it at that for this week. I think it's been pretty solid, a bit more upbeat.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think we'll eventually find like a healthy mixture of that. It will be a bit more natural, having a laugh with a serious side to it.
And again, we want people to message and let us know what they want us to talk about.
Yeah, because if there's specific topics, then that's where the episode will be more serious and it'll be focused on something.
Give our take on that.
We can give more detail in our opinions, but other than that, it'd be nice just to be a bit more light-hearted. And we find other people might find it easier to watch because we've had a lot of comments, but then some people might not like that we're being serious.
Heavy, isn't it?
Yeah. And obviously, a lot of people know us as having a laugh and a joke. As much as we have our demons and our dark side and that, us as people, as a family, are very nice, outgoing.
We want to help people, and if laughter is the best medicine and all that. So ideally, we'd like to touch on serious subjects, make things relatable, show people they're not alone, be able to make have some laughs, and
we'll see how it goes.
Again, just to plug Instagram.
Yeah, if any likes and follows, I know it sounds silly what you're saying earlier, like even if it's 100 views on a video and you get 10 likes on the video, it's like it doesn't take long just to like it.
No,
whether it's not for you, a share could reach someone else. Like if you're not struggling, you got to think of other people.
Yeah, just do it. Yeah, like, comment, share, subscribe, all of the stuff.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's not for us. It is for other people. We'd like it to reach someone that might live across the fucking world.
Yeah,
that's struggling with something and.
One thing I'm going to say now, I mean, we don't get paid for this, obviously. It's just the camera we're just doing it. But I don't know how far this is going to go. Say eventually it does take off, which I'm not imagining that it's going to. I'll say this now on record. I would never ever do ads.
No, I mean I would. No, I'm joking.
But as in, I really am. This is. I don't want this to be my full-time job.
Any money we make from this will go to me.
Yeah,
and your half can go to charity.
Well, we'll have a talk after. And then, clearly, you're struggling. You might need some money. So
that's what we'll do. Is obviously you ain't going to take all the money.
Yeah.
So we'll split it in half. Your half goes to charity.
Yeah.
And my half goes to me.
We'll talk about this another time because this is getting off topic now. And clearly, you.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah. But no, thank you again for watching.
Yeah, and like I say, I'll leave the I'll get the link off Jack. He might not be on this one because I'll have to talk to him. This might get uploaded before that, but by the next episode, I'll put a link for Jack's Pink for Nadia. It's called. So.
Yeah, but no, YouTube, Instagram, George's Facebook, share, go over, like us on all platforms, help us out.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Spread the word. All right, love you all a bit. Take care, people.